Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, at the beautiful Palace Hotel in St. Anne, the parish of Marcus Garvey, and we're here speaking with the illustrious, beautiful Jessica Mbangeni, all the way from South Africa. Jessica, what was it like when you graced the stage of IRI FM August 18th, yesterday?
I was not myself, and I was still myself because I was in spirit, in the midst of the spirit of the great Marcus Garvey, the prophet, the guider, the teacher, the revolutionary, our great hero. I felt the spirit of unity amongst ourselves. It was the spirit of unity in humanity. I had to change my program of the songs that I wanted to do. Really, I became the vessel and the vehicle that delivered the messages from the great Honorable Marcus Garvey.
I noticed that, Jessica, because normally when I see you perform, you're mostly singing and chanting and giving praises and so on. But yesterday you came out fiery. You had the crowd on their feet, people was applauding. They couldn't get enough of you yesterday. And it's different, but I kind of enjoy this side of Jessica, the fire warrior side of Jessica, the warning side of Jessica. How was it to you when you saw how receptive the people of IRI FM was to your performance?
It is fulfilling because I'm serving the purpose. Somehow, when the mind comes into this, it feels that the artist who have planned to do 1, 2, 3 has failed there. But I strongly feel even deep inside me that this is what I was here for, to deliver the message. And the message was not mine. The message comes from the Honorable Marcus Garvey, our prophet. The message comes from the great Haile Selassie I. The message comes from Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela, Steve Biko, Robert Sobukwe, Queen Nani of the Maroons, and all the great women, Winnie Madikizela Mandela, all the queens of the world. I felt the spirit has taken over my life. I know that I'm serving the purpose. Music is a business card that says Jessica is here. And right now, it is happening the way it is happening. I even thought I was on stage for 5 minutes. I said, excuse me?
You performed for over 18 minutes and 44 seconds. And it was simply awesome. As a matter of fact, I want to ask you this question. You traveled for well over 20-something hours to get here, while people of Jamaica failed to show up to honor such a great man that was born here. What are your thoughts on that? And what can you say to these people that on what they're missing out on?
I have realized that the commodities of this world, we are going to live here. We need to serve the purpose. Selflessness is the key in my life. I sacrifice my children's money, the time with my family. As the great Marcus Garvey did. As our great fighters, our heroes have done. I am the agent of change.
You are the one we've been waiting for. Jessica, you've been to Jamaica now how many times?
I lost the count.
Because we love you and we welcome you so much every time that we don't count either, and we don't want to put a number on the amount of time that you'll ever come back. We'd only hope that you'll probably end up owning properties down here and see Jamaica as your second home, as you say.
I'd love to see Jamaicans come to South Africa and to the African continent at large without a count. The world is ours. We are the ones who have made it possible for the world markets to trade in gold and diamonds and the food. Our stomachs still yearn. Our stomachs are not only yearning for the food, but are yearning, our souls are yearning for the confidence on taking on and being in charge of everything that we have contributed unto in the whole world. A self-realization of the power that we possess as the people is what matters. That we have no boundaries, we have no borders, we are one. This world is the one mighty Gondwana land. We must be everywhere we are supposed to be. We should not succumb to the propaganda of the minority that is oppressing and destroying our confidence as the people. We are diverse nations of the world, gracefully, peacefully, kindly live for legacies, to make the beautiful stories. So we must allow ourselves to be this story that is going to be told for the generations to come. A beautiful story, an exemplary story that is the symbol of peace and harmony.
We noticed that you were dressed remarkably yesterday. Tell us a little bit about Kwantu Afrocentric design. Tell us about your product.
Kwantu Afrocentric Designs manufactures diverse traditional outfits in South Africa, and the spirit guides my wardrobe. I planned something else, and the spirit just guided me on royal colors of Haile Selassie I, when I realized that these colors actually are the colors of Empress Menen, white dominated with gold, and the colors of the UNIA, which is green, red and black, and the Rastafari colors, which will add up gold.
Red, green and gold.
Red, green and gold.
Yes.
Gold, when it's added up on those colors, it shows us that the one spirit that we are as the people. We are not just mind, body and soul, but we are the spirit. That is the common denominator of who we are as the people. Let us be in spirit, people. Let us learn to tolerate each other. Let us just love each other. We live once. You know, the great things that we have ever done can be shattered by one thing that is negative that you would contribute in somebody's life. Let us listen to the spirit and be positive at all times. Through it all, the power of the mind should not dictate us to destroy one another, but we must teach each other, each one teach one.
Okay.
Let us hold hands together.
Okay, I know you're working on a number of material musically. What are you planning to release to your fan base out there in terms of your music?
My album is going to be an 11-track album titled I Am an African. Well, the album is, the titles are changing because of the mission. I will just throw it to the spirit to guide. There's a tribute that I'm going to be giving to the great men, the great women who have fought in the struggle. There's a journey that needs to be taken on so that we can document our history. We've got Fidel Castro from Cuba, who contributed towards liberating South Africa from the struggle of the apartheid regime. We've got the leaders of the world, more than 18 regions in Africa, that Nelson Mandela and all the Oliver regional tambos, and the MK soldiers, which is in Kwantu Afrocentric, have traveled long, granted the visa by the Haile Selassie. The Rastafari community should know the contribution that is played by Haile Selassie on the struggle liberations of the whole world, most especially his contribution in the African continent. We tend to take politics, put politics aside. Politics are triggered by the spirituality, by the spirit of determination from those leaders and from those who are in the forefront of the power. And we are still powerful, even those who fought against it are powerful as well. So we need to give the honor and the respect to them because they deserve it. So they'll be going around the world giving the tribute, documenting this story, because singing one line is not helping to our children. We need to detail things. We need to go and pay libations in Ethiopia. We need to go and pay libations in the squares where Martin Luther King's and Malcolm X's, the leaders of the Black Panthers, fought. We need to go and pay libations to the blood of our people who have suffered for our liberation. And the struggle continues, because it is the struggle when we do not know our history, when we do not know the philosophy of our leaders. We need to put it here. We need to document it. It has to register in our minds and our soul. So my album that is coming out is more revolutionary. I've just realized that my life is transcendent. I am not defined by the standards of this world. I speak to the people that I'm supposed to speak to. An artist in me, sometimes there's an envy that, hey, big stage. But at the end of the day, right now, the stage that I'm in, it's way beyond tangible stages of the world. I am standing on the shoulders of the giants.
Jessica, we want to thank you so much. We know you're extremely busy. Thank you so much for giving us that opportunity to speak to you after the aftermath of such a tremendous performance at the IRFM tribute to the Honorable Marcus Garvey. It was a pleasure talking to you as always. Any shout out to anybody you want to say hi to in South Africa, your kids, anyone?
South Africans, I love you so much. Find the zeal to travel the world. It broadens up your spectrum. So let us go out there and just be beautiful. Spread some love, man. Rastafari.
Thank you so much, Jessica Mbangeni.